Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana. Thanks again for watching. This channel is all about SMS beauty, which used to be skincare, makeup, sunscreen. I'm probably going to focus more on the last one, which is sunscreen. I was going to say skincare, no. And do less of the others, more so just S and S, so skincare and sunscreen, and less about the makeup, which is a very convoluted way of saying, let's get into this sunscreen review. So what I have here, I've been sitting on for well over a year, which is crazy. But I guess the main reason is that you can't get ultraviolet in the US. I got it because I paid like crazy shipping from this one place that I don't think even delivers to the US anymore. So it seemed kind of like, why would I review it? Even though I wanted to get it for my own like curiosity. And then I just decided like it didn't make sense since so many of my viewers are from the US. But I decided, I think a lot of people are from outside of the US. You can get it in Europe, you can get it obviously in Australia. Maybe not obvious, it's an Australian brand. But I figured even if you are in the US and maybe can't get it today, one day maybe you'll get it or be able to go to another country and get it. And then at least you'll have this review to kind of reference. That's the goal. Or you're just interested and you know you're never gonna buy it, but you wanna watch it. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna be doing, well, I have four of the 5-ish, but these are really like the 4 main sunscreens for your face. They do have a body one. They have a tinted, I'm gonna just call it tinted moisturizer, and then they have like lip glosses. So I feel like this is like the core range, so it's okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 on, well, 1 on one half, 1 on the other, and then take that off and do the other 2, so you can kind of see the differences, and they kind of fall and fit into 2 categories, so this works out perfectly. So if you're not already subscribed, do so below. Give it a big ol' like. If you want to follow me over on Instagram, I post over there sometimes. I'm also on TikTok, which I film or post over there too, so it's all the same, just Dana Ripperton. And let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start off by 2 of the chemical or organic sunscreens. So the first one we have is the Skinscreen, and then the other one is Supreme Screen. I'm gonna zoom you in and start talking about the differences in them and put them both on my face. Okay, so I have some self-tanner on, which is, if you're wondering why my face is like a little tanner than normal, that's why. Let's start off with the Skinscreen, and I'm gonna be using my 1/4 teaspoon. It's very hard when I'm putting it on half of my face to do it this way, but if I don't do it this way, people will be like, wow, you're not using the correct amount. So just for those 2 people that do that, I'm gonna do it this way. All right, so the first one is the Skinscreen, and this is like I said, organic or chemical sunscreen. It's SPF 50+. So there are 4 different filters in this. 3 of them are newer filters, and they are Uvinol MC80 at 10%, Tinosorb M at 2%, and Tinosorb S at 4%. And then you have octisalate at 5%, which is an older filter. But the reason that you can't get this in the US is because of those 3 newer filters. They just don't, the FDA has not cleared them, so we cannot get them here. Now this comes in a dropper bottle, as you can see. And on the website, they say for your face to use 3 full squeezes of the tube. That was 1 squeeze, so I think I'm gonna do just a little bit more, but I'm washing this off, so the point of this is not necessarily to, I guess, like get the exact right amount, but to show you what it looks like when it's applied. So that's the application. You can tell it goes on absolutely clearly. There's no white cast at all. It does have a scent. It's a rose scent. It's pretty mild, but it is definitely there. But some people that have allergies or like sensitivities to anything with rose, so if that's you, this is definitely a pass. Definitely, they do say to use 3 full drops. I love that Ultraviolet always kind of makes an effort to make sure people are using the correct amount, because so many other brands don't do that and they're not very clear about how much to use. But with all of these, for the pump ones, they say 5 pumps, which is a lot, and they say that, but like that's how much you should be using. And then for the dropper one, 3 full droppers. So that's great. This retails for $38, at least where I found it, which is Harrods. They deliver throughout the world, I think to US, other countries, Europe, blah, blah, blah. You can also buy it on the Ultraviolet website, but it's from Australia and they will not ship to the US. They probably will ship to other parts of the world, but it's gonna be, you know, depending on where you live. But this one comes in 50 milliliters, which is 1.7 ounce. They don't have a different size. Some of the others have like a larger bulk size, but this one is 50 milliliters and $38. The kind of recommended use for this is people with normal or dry skin. You can see I have quite a bit of a glow. Even on this side, I have a little bit of a glow, but it's really just from the lights. This side is glowy, dewy. It's supposed to be a great base for makeup. I've never had any pilling with it, and it does kind of stay like this, so you get a nice little dew throughout the day. The last thing I wanted to mention, now this bottle is from a while ago. It's not like it's bad, but the batch that this came out of had some weird inconsistencies with the texture of it. It's supposed to just be like a serum, like silky, smooth fluid, and mine has like crystallized little white things in it, and you can't even see it once it's applied because they do kind of just disperse. But that was an issue that they had. I'm pretty sure that's taken care of, so you shouldn't have that issue if you get it. All right, let's go on to Supreme Screen. So this one, I think I got the larger size, yeah. This is 75 milliliters. It also comes in 50 milliliters. On the Harrods website, the 50 milliliters one costs $36. So a few dollars less for this one than this one. I'm gonna put, let's see, let's call it like 2 pumps for half of my face. This is kind of what it looks like. Ta-da! Okay, so this is another organic or chemical sunscreen. This one they say is kind of like the one for everyone. It's supposed to be a moisturizer, a primer, a sunscreen for dry, oily, combo, all of the skin types. You know, I don't know necessarily if people with oily skin would love this. It definitely gives you a very moisturized look, but I guess if you think of it as truly like a moisturizer in one, it could work for different skin types if you kind of like think of it like that. This one has a fragrance. It's not rose, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like Ultraviolet has their own scent and it's very hard to describe. So it does have a little bit of a scent. I don't find it to be lingering, not anything too heavy, not like something like the Chanel, you know, like legacy brands that have very heavy, like grandma-y fragrance. And it has no white cast. The color of the product is quite interesting. It does actually look a little light, and maybe that you would have a white cast, but it goes on invisibly, and I would say on all skin types just because it rubs out so easily, but it is chemical, so it really shouldn't have a cast. And here is the Skinscreen, which I did not demonstrate, but you saw it on my face. Simple. So both of these have, and actually all of them, I'll just go ahead and say, they have Kakadu Plum, which is a vitamin C, like a natural alternative. Well, vitamin C is natural as well. But Kakadu Plum is supposed to have one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C, so I can completely understand why they put it in there. It's a really great ingredient. It shouldn't sensitize anybody's skin, in addition to all of the other ingredients that they have. So I think both of these are gonna be best for people that have like the tendency to have drier skin. If you have oily skin and you just love this glowy look, by all means, I think it might be a little bit much depending on where you live and kind of your skin type. But I could see people with the oilier skin type wearing it under makeup, maybe putting a more matte makeup on over top. Both of them wear beautifully. I've worn them both under makeup many times, and I've never had any pilling, but I would say that like you're gonna have a glowier look. And if that's what you want, they both kind of work. I think depending on what you maybe prefer, it's kind of gonna be up in the air. I think this one for me in the winter when my skin is super dry, which it's not super dry, but it gets more dry, this is a better option for like the real moisture. This one is a nice one to wear kind of under makeup. It's very easy. It doesn't take a lot to apply. And I just find that it gives you enough dew, but not like on those really cold, dry days. This is probably not enough. So either are great. I love them both. I do tend to reach for this one more, and I've used like quite a bit. I would say like more than half. So that one is one of my go-tos in the wintertime. All right, I'm gonna take this off and then I'm gonna put the next two on. All right, we're back for the next two. These two are more in the mineral or inorganic range. The first one we have is Skinscreen, which is actually a hybrid. It's got filters that are both chemical and mineral. So it has titanium dioxide at 3%, and then it has Tinted M at 3.25% and Uvinol A plus at 1.6%. So the one that I have is 50 milliliters, but it also comes in the larger size. So just so you can see the difference, this is the 50 milliliter, this is the 75 milliliter. And for the 50 milliliter, it retails for $34. Again, I didn't get this on Harrods, but I got the price, so the prices may differ depending on where you're looking. So this one they say is a gel texture, lightweight finish, natural skin finish, and it's supposed to be for normal or oily or combo skin. So I'm gonna pump this out. I'm gonna do, let's see, 1, 2, 2.5, 3. And as, well, I don't know if you can see, so I will apply it to my hand. This one has one of the like lighter actual, like it says, like gel-like textures. It's a lot more fluid and less creamy than the Supreme Screen, but it goes on quite easily. Let's just go ahead and apply it to my face. Okay, so you can see that it does have a little bit more of a cast than say the first two that I applied. This one is also only SPF 30. Everything else is SPF 50 plus. So this one is the like lowest in the range, but I don't find that to be super problematic. Unless you're of course outside all day, then I would recommend using SPF 50 and then also reapplying. But this one is a great everyday one. It's actually my favorite texture of all of them. It goes on the most fluid-like. I mean, obviously like the Queen Screen is fluid, but I do prefer this texture. I don't necessarily love that it has like a little bit of a cast, especially when you see like my skin with the self tan on this side. It definitely has a bit of a cast, and so I would typically wear this one under makeup more, but the good thing about it is it layers beautifully under makeup. So if you do need to like cover it up with a little bit of a tint, it should go perfectly fine. This one is also fragrance free, so it's meant to be kind of the one for people with more sensitive skin. And I know a lot of people with sensitive skin do better with hybrid sunscreens, so this would be a great option for those of you out there like that. And I just wanted to say one more thing about the finish. It definitely has what I would consider like the most natural finish. It's like a satin, not satin matte, but satin natural finish. And you can see it does have a little bit of a glow compared to this side, which has nothing on it, but it's not overly glowy. It doesn't feel tacky to the touch. Sometimes when you get a super glowy one, everything will stick to it, like your hair or whatever. This one is just an easy one. It's beautiful, it layers well. It's really good if you have, like, I would say light, maybe medium skin tone, but like anything lighter than medium, it's gonna look really great on your face. If you do have a darker skin tone, I think it's gonna be one that you're gonna have to layer under makeup. Okay, and the last one that I have is the Lean Screen. So this is SPF 50 plus, and this is the only all mineral sunscreen. So I wanna show you what it looks like on my hand. Okay, so this one is 22.75% zinc oxide. I don't know why my bottle is making such a weird noise. And this one is thick. So if you could see as I was pumping it out, it's got a very kind of heavy texture to it, and it is not at all as fluid and easy to spread as the Clean Screen that I just put on. So I'm gonna apply now. that's the application. I think it's visible when you see me rubbing it. It takes more rubbing, like it's really quite thick and very creamy of a texture, but like thick cream. So the one that I have is 75 milliliters. You can also get it in 50 milliliters. For the 50 milliliters, it retails for $36. So they're all in around the same price range, I think $32 to $36, which is pretty middle of the road. And especially considering all the filters that they do have, like the newer generation filters, I think the price is really affordable and great, especially they come in a 75 milliliter size. That's wonderful. This one is supposed to have a soft matte finish. Sometimes I see that, sometimes I don't. It's definitely gonna sink in more than some of the others. And when you let it sit for about 5 minutes, it will have more of a matte finish, but it also has kind of like, I don't wanna say greasy as a feel, because sometimes when you feel like a matte mineral sunscreen, they feel very silicone-y, but this one has more of a hydrating feel to it. So it could actually be a really good option if you have oily skin, but you tend to have like dehydrated skin, which is a weird combination, but very real. And also if you just live in a hot climate, this could be a very good option because it's still gonna give your skin enough of that like moisture and hydration. And like I said with the first two, both of these have Kakadu Plum, which is a vitamin C version. So you're getting a little bit of skincare, but not a lot. And this one, I believe is unscented too. I don't know, I'm like very rarely do they use scents in mineral sunscreens because it's supposed to be more for like people with sensitive skin. And this one is definitely targeted to people with more combo, oily, or even like acne or eczema prone skin. And actually both of these are going to be great for people with sensitive skin. There's something very special about this, the lean screen, because it's not tinted and it's not white, but it's basically the perfect kind of shade that allows it to not have a white cast. And this is the kind of thing that I love seeing from sunscreens, where I would say it is almost universal. I mean, I don't think it would work on all skin tones. Maybe the deepest of the deep, it would still have a bit of a like kind of ashy cast. But for the majority of skin tones, this is gonna work really great. And that is a wonderful thing that like you can pick it up and know that you have a mineral sunscreen, but no cast, and you don't have to worry with like finding the right shade. So as you can see, both of them, as they're setting in, they have a little bit of a glow. And again, I always say like the lights definitely like pick up on any glow, but they are more kind of just a natural finish. So these are great to wear alone. You don't have to like feel like you're gonna be shining too much like the first two. And actually all four of them layer really well under sunscreen. So I've never had any pilling from any of these sunscreens, even if you put a lot on. Sometimes with other brands, if you put too much on, I get pilling around the edges. I've not had that with any of these. So I think I'm gonna end here. I hope that you kind of see the differences between all of the four. I did wanna mention there is another one. It's called the Daydream screen, which I really think of as more like a tinted moisturizer. And they have 15 shades of that. And so like it is in the vein of makeup, like you have shades and undertones and that kind of thing. It's a chemical sunscreen and I think it retails for around $40. I could get it from Harrods, but I would be paying $30 shipping to get it. And I'm like, why would I pay almost the same price as the product to get it shipped? I just don't need it. I have plenty of tinted moisturizers that have sunscreen. I just don't think it's that revolutionary. Maybe one day if I'm like around it, I'll pick it up, but you know, I don't need another glowy tinted moisturizer with sunscreen. Okay, so I am gonna wrap it up here. I think hopefully you saw the differences between the ones that are the chemical. We have the Queen Screen and the Supreme Screen, and then the ones that are either mineral or hybrid, and those are the Clean Screen and the Lean, the names, Clean and Lean Screen. So I personally love all of them. I have definitely gotten the most use out of the hydrating one, or the Supreme Screen, but I can reach for any of them on any day, and usually they will work. I think if you are gonna go with either the Clean or the Lean Screen, just kind of take a note of what your skin tone is, because they might be a little bit harder to work for certain skin tones, but overall I think they're gonna work pretty well for most people. So I'm gonna end it here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.